Yo, what? Crackin' fellow squids! Welcome back to another YouTube video. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about the Tony Hawk series. So with that being said, let's get into the video.
It's the dream.
So I know it's been a couple days since I made my last video. I've been popping off on the Elden Ring videos and everything like that. But, I got more of that coming in the future. You guys already know. I downloaded Dark Souls, so look forward to that as well. And I actually been playing Nioh 2 with the homie, so I'm probably going to make a video on that too. But today, I had to talk about one of my favorite series of all times, Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Tony Hawk Underground, and anything in between. You know what I'm saying? So this series is definitely special to me. I remember growing up when I was in like second grade or so, and my older brother, he was playing Tony Hawk Underground on the PS2, and he was doing like the final level where Eric is shooting the fireballs, and where is it? I don't know if it's San Diego, I can't even remember which city it was in. But the main villain of the story, you have to chase him down, and he's like shooting fireballs all over skateboard and stuff. And my little second grader brain was like blown away by that. I was like, yo, this is actually insane. But you know how big brothers are. They don't be letting you hold the sticks. They don't want to pass the sticks, They'll pass you the stick and unplug the controller, you get me? But fast forward, I get a little bit older and I get my first PS2. Not even a little bit older. I got it like probably a couple months later or something. But I got my first PS2 and I didn't get Tony Hawk with it, but later in the future, I always remember I went to GameStop with my nana. She lives in a different state, so she has to come out and visit me, right? So she would literally spoil me, like give me anything. My mom didn't like video games as much, so she didn't really buy me video games. Bro, my nana will literally come and give me anything I want. So I remember being in GameStop back in the days where they had the little, the clear little like cubes, or not cubes, but the clear little ball thingies, and the systems were inside. I don't know if you guys remember that. And then they had the controllers like coming out. So I remember they had a PS2 in there, and I was like, I want this game, and it was Tony Hawk's Underground. And sadly, I don't have the case, but I have I got this disc pouch, so I'm gonna buy the case one day, but that's on my bucket list. But the GameStop workers, like there's nudity and language and blood and blah blah blah, all that type of stuff. And my nana didn't care. I played a little bit. My dude fell off the skateboard. Some blood like splattered on the ground, and she was like, "Ah, it's cool, whatever." Right? So then, little did I know that was gonna be one of my favorite games of all time. I took it home, and it was just so fun. The whole adventure. Me and my brothers loved the multiplayer. And everything about the game was just absolutely beautiful. The reason I love the Underground series is because you can get off your skateboard. You get what I'm saying? So there's Underground 1, and then there's like Underground 2. And then they made like American Wasteland and stuff, which is technically like Underground 3, which I didn't even know existed for the longest time, which are all the games that I have right here. I'll go through those in a bit. But that was my first Tony Hawk game, was Tony Hawk Underground. It was absolutely insane. Like, for its time, the levels, the missions, you just do a bunch of crazy stuff. You get what I'm saying? Just an absolutely insane game, especially for like a younger kid. You get what I mean? So it was pretty dope. And always, the Tony Hawk soundtracks always hit. They always hit. You get what I mean? Tony Hawk games are really known for their soundtracks and stuff. So sadly, I did not get to play like Pro Skater 1 and Pro Skater 2. Even like Pro Skater 3 and 4, to be honest. I started straight off with the Underground series. But I remember back then, once I got into like collecting video games and everything, on my N64, I had a copy of Pro Skater 2, I believe. And I always like to play older games and like experience them. And, I don't really judge any older games. I play new games and old games because they're all just games at the end of the day. So I went back and tried to play it, but for some reason my cartridge would never work. So like I would blow into the cartridge, pop it into the N64 and like try to turn it on, but I guess the battery was dead or something, so I never got to play it. I remember like downloading an emulator and trying to play it like that, but for some reason like certain games on emulators work better than others, and I guess Tony Hawk's Pro Skater wasn't working. And I never had a PS1 growing up, or like I did but I didn't, if that kind of makes sense. So like I never was like a PlayStation 1 fan, you know. I was always Nintendo 64, but I love the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, PS5. So yeah, that's just like a brief little history of when I first got Tony Hawk Underground. You get what I mean? It was a really good game, man. It's like just it's unbelievable that it's one of my favorite games of all time, because I would have never thought like a skateboarding game can like be that good, but it's actually that good. You get what I mean? So let's go through some of the Tony Hawk games that I do have. Alright, so right here, as I showed you guys before, I got Tony Hawk Underground. I don't have the case for it, but it's just Tony Hawk Underground. I need to get the case eventually. So here is Tony Hawk's Underground Remix 2. See, this game is crazy because I've had it on the PSP when I was younger, and like that's the only way I played it. But there's actually I mean, I had it on the PSP when I was younger, but there's actually a PS2 port, and I didn't know that at the time. And when I got older and I was like, this game's on the PS2, I still haven't played it on the PS2, and I'd rather play it on the PS2 for the big screen, obviously. But this game is actually absolutely like amazing. Same as Tony Hawk Underground 1, they just expand on ideas and add more crazy stuff, and it's kind of like a Jackass and stuff. It has like, what is his name? Bam Margera or something like that, and a bunch of people from like Jackass and all that kind of stuff. A lot of people, this game's controversial in the Tony Hawk community. A lot of people like don't really like this game, or like say the Jackass theme ruined it, but I find it funny. You can play as Steve-O and like a bunch of other characters. It's pretty funny, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's a good game. Definitely a good game. I can't wait to get it on the PS2 one day. Okay, I'm gonna start from the bottom here. Now, let's go like this, yeah. So, next, we got Tony Hawk's Proving Ground for the PS2. There's actually a PS3 version, right? Yeah. So, this is the PS2 one, and I don't even think I played it. So, I found this at like Fallout Games when I was retro game hunting. And then, it's crazy, I went the next day and I found the PS3 version. Now the PS3 version is really hard to find, even this one, but basically these games, they're scarce, and I didn't even know like most of these other Tony Hawks existed, only the mainline ones. So these are like basically like Underground 3s and 4s, if you really want to put it like that. You get what I mean? Even though it's not Underground 3, Underground 4, technically it's like on the same engine and takes a lot of the mechanics, expand on them and stuff like that. I can't really remember much from this one because I didn't play it. But yeah, definitely look forward to playing this. I got the PS3 version, so it's going to be cool to like play the downgraded one and then play the HD one. So that's definitely cool. Glad I have that. Next, we got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. I know a lot of people love this game. I think this is when they started like the little missions and everything. Because I know Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, they didn't really have like the missions, they had the goals. And then I think this is where like the open world maybe started to happen. I'm a little rusty on my history. It's either 3 or 4 where you're able to like do missions and like go around to NPCs and they'll give you like quests and stuff to do. But definitely still got to play this one. Haven't played it. I'm sad because I was able to get it on the GameCube back in the day, and I don't know why I didn't buy it. It was only like $10, but got it on the PS2. Gonna play that one day for sure. Next, we have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. Pro Skater 4. See, that's why I said it can be this one or 3 where they started the open world. I think they started the missions on here, and then this one they started where you can get off your skateboard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but like I said, it's been a minute since I did my Tony Hawk history, and I'm a little rusty. But yeah, definitely a legendary game, especially if they started like the open world that led into the Underground series, like talking to NPCs and stuff. That's the style of Tony Hawk that I prefer, because I don't really care too much about like skate goals and stuff like that, like collect the letter skate and everything like that. So we'll get into that. But yeah, legendary game for sure. And it's just another copy of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4. I got two. Sometimes I get duplicative games. I don't know why. Now this is definitely a special game right here. This one is definitely like looking real cool. Look at that. I love the case. The colors are pretty dope. But Tony Hawk American's Wasteland. Yeah, or American Wasteland. Yeah. You could write BMX in here. Yeah, you could see they added BMX into here. You could like do some like, I forget, you could like drive on the wall or something, or hop off the wall and then do like, they added a bunch of new mechanics basically. It's like still the underground what am I calling it? Engine, the underground engine. And you know, it just expands a whole new world and everything like that. I can't remember if I started this one yet. I think it was this one, yeah. I think it was either this one or Proving Ground. Like I said, it's been a minute. I'm getting confused because, like I said, these are still new to me, which is a good thing. They're still pretty fresh. Haven't played all of them because they were hard to track these down, and I got lucky to find these in my city. Like literally, a guy was selling like 3 of these at once and stuff, and it was just crazy because, like, bro, individually, these are all like probably like $80 each or something, which is absolutely insane. But that's because they're scarce and rare. And a lot of Tony Hawk fans really do like these games. So this one's dope. Another cool thing about this one is that they added like the open world with no loading screens. So what they would do is like when you're going from one city to another, there's a big tunnel that you have to like go through, you know, skate through it. And it's just one long tunnel. But basically while you're skating through the tunnel, it's loading the next city. So the tunnel is the loading screen, and I find that super cool and interesting when games do that. Like, yeah, it's technically still loading, but I mean, at least you don't gotta sit through a loading screen, you get what I mean? So this one is definitely on my bucket list that I gotta complete. I really do love this one. Like I said, I watched videos on all of these Tony Hawks before I was able to get them and track them down. And I would rewatch because I was like, bro, I didn't even know these existed. And it was like me, a kid in a candy store again. Like, yo, this is absolutely insane. Well, yeah, so this one is pretty dope. So, and that brings us into the modern Tony Hawk games, right? That brings us to the modern day. Well, here goes the Tony Hawk's Proving Ground that I was showing you on the PS3. Yep, and I believe this one came with a skateboard and everything, like if you pre-ordered it or whatnot. But yeah, same one as the one that was on the PS2, but you know, it's upgraded HD and has a lot more stuff added into the game. Definitely on my bucket list. Like one of the first HD Tony Hawk games and everything like that, that's actually good. So yes. I know I don't have some games. I think I have Project 8 on the PSP, but I don't have the case for it. But like I'm missing a couple games, but like I just got the ones that are my favorite, especially the ones on the underground engine. Like I said, absolutely crazy. Underground was my favorite, so like having sequels and stuff to that is really a bonus. But here we get to the modern Tony Hawks, right? So right here we have Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2, the remaster that came out a couple years ago, and these are absolutely insane. It blew my mind when Tony Hawk was talking about like releasing this, and he announced it and everything, and like it was coming out. This was like in the era where they were making a lot of remakes. So I remember like things like the Crash trilogy, Crash Team Racing, things of that nature, and I was super hyped, bro. I love Tony Hawk, so like just knowing that we're getting Pro Skater, and I didn't get to play one and two, so remember I told you guys this was right up my alley, and I had to cop it. I can't remember if I did pre-order it. Yeah, I did pre-order it, and I got the skateboard with it too, which is pretty dope. It was hard to find it. It was around the time like COVID and scalpers, so people were like scalping the pre-orders, and they were buying like 5 of them at once, right? So I remember I went to GameStop. I was like, yo, let me get the Tony Hawk pre-order, because it was like $100+ or something, because it comes with a whole skateboard and everything. And I remember that the GameStop dude was like, he was like, somebody like bought a whole bunch of them, and they're supposed to come in and pick them up, and they're sold out. So I ended up ordering on Amazon, but when I went back to GameStop after that, bro was telling me like, oh, dude didn't even get the skateboards or buy it, all the pre-order. He just left it. I was just like, you know, damn scalpers. Like, bro, what's the point? But yeah. So this comes out. It's on the Nintendo Switch and on the PS4, but I think it took a while for it to port to the Nintendo Switch. So I was playing on the PS4 when it first came out. Character customization is decent at best, but it's better than no character customization, because I know throughout the games it's different. Like, if some are way better and some are like horrible, so maybe made by different developers or different studios, I'm not too sure. But I just know the Underground series are praised because it was before its time. Like, even Underground 2, Underground 1, you can customize your character, make some crazy characters. I've seen some crazy character setups and everything like that. Customize your skateboard, and the game was absolutely before its time for that. So Underground 1+2, it's decent. You know, they got the skate shop where you can like buy items, you can buy clothes. It's really cool because they have real brands like Vans and Adidas, which I like those. And like skateboards and everything, you can buy skateboards, and you can customize at the bottom. You can customize your character, and I got my character looking like me back before I cut my hair, when I had my dreadlocks and shit. So it was pretty decent, and it was a fun time, and it had online play, which everyone was super excited about. I'm sad because the online wasn't super in depth, but I mean, it's a skateboarding game, so you know, keep it pretty simple. You know what I mean? Pretty casual and just chill. And then they had like a pro mode for like the hardcore players. Now those people who be stringing absolutely insane combos, bro, God bless, because I don't know how you do it, bro. I don't know how you do it, but yeah, the game was really good, graphics really good, runs well on the Switch, and it's really cool that they made it, because people like me who didn't experience Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 or 2 back in the day was able to like experience it for the first time in HD, glorious HD, beautiful HD, with online play too. So we had people to play with, and we got to see the it was cool to see like the old versions of the maps, and then see the new versions and everything like that. And it's always cool when they remaster a game, because you know, you get to see what they're gonna rework and tweak around type shit. You get what I mean? And then the soundtrack, you know, the Tony Hawk soundtracks are always some bangers, straight gas. Alex Lehe, Misery Guts, bro, that goes crazy. I found that on there, and I found a few more. I know people like that song, like Superman. I forget who it's by, but everyone talks about that song a lot, and the first time they used to hear that back in the day. But yeah, I'm just glad that Tony Hawk, and they made these newer Tony Hawk games, so basically a newer generation get to experience what we got to experience back in the day. But it's been a couple years since then, and I'm really hoping that they make like an Underground remake, because that's open world, or just a new Tony Hawk in general. We all know Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5, it's a meme. That game was broken on release, bro. It was so bad. I never returned games. I bought it. The GameStop guy was like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?" And I'm like, "Bro, I love Tony Hawk. I'm sure. It can't be that bad." Bro, I returned it back like 2 days later. Like, no joke. But I need to get that too, just for the memes. You get what I mean? Just to have all of them anyways. I don't know why I returned it, but it is what it is. I need to get that one back for sure, just to have it. And it makes me sad because like they had like the Ninja Turtles in that one. They had Lil Wayne, which is dope, and I actually like the art style, how it was like a little cartoony. But too bad that, you know, that game was a whole mess. But at least we got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2 and everything like that. And like I said, we need Underground remakes. We need a new Underground 3 possibly. You know, if Tony Hawk wants to, you know, do something like that, please. The Underground series was legendary. Like, it's open, pretty much not open world, but it's open. Now you can go anywhere you want on the map. You get off your skateboard, you could climb buildings, and on top of that, the stories were absolutely insane and really good for a skateboarding game. Like, I never cared about stories, but like Tony Hawk, I vividly remember a lot of the story in my brain to this day. Like, I'm asleep 2 o'clock in the morning just staring at the ceiling, and I'm visualizing Tony Hawk scenes in my head. Like, that's the kind of person I am. But I don't want to keep ranting on. Before I end the video, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of my skateboards. You know what I mean? So let me do that. So first here, we got the collector's edition for the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1+2. So you see right there, 1+2. It's pretty dope. You know, it has like the game in the back and a bunch of stuff. And then in the front, as you see, the actual skateboard. I would take it out, but it's a pain to like put it back in. But you see, It's his brand, the Birdhouse, you know what I mean? And then it has his like signature on there. So I had to get this. As a giant Tony Hawk fan, this was a must. Not even gonna ride it, you get what I mean? Like I'm not even gonna skate on it. I might put some grip tape on it or something, probably, but I might just leave it in the box, to be honest. Might buy another one so I can skate on that one and then just keep this one. But this is absolutely insane. They made one for the PS3 Proving Ground one, I believe, too, back in the day. And if I knew about that, I would have got that one. But this is absolutely crazy that they even came out with this. You know what I mean? And it was like 120 bucks for this and the game. So that's a steal because the game is already $60. So then that, you know, the deck and everything. So next, we got this one right here. Not even too sure what brand or what deck this is. You get what I mean? I low-key found it at Goodwill and it was like decked out like this. It looks so sick and it was only like $8. So I was like, bro, I'm copping that, bro. I was like, I got to. You feel me? Like I had to cop it because obviously, like why not? But it looks so cool. I like to hang my skateboards on the wall, so I gotta find a way like I could get them up on the wall. I used to always hang my boards on the wall. So, yeah, decked out with the stickers. Definitely looks cool. You know, probably never write this one either, but just looks cool on the wall. You get me? Now, next we have one of my favorites of all time. Even in the game. So in the game, I always choose like element boards because they look so cool. But Girl is actually dope. So the homie gave me this some years ago. He's not a skater, but he had a board and I like gave him some money for it. And he gave it to me. Now it's all kind of messed up because this is the one that I used for years. Like as you see, the tail is super burnt out or just messed up. But you can see this was one of my favorites. I love the design. I love the colors. I like how it had the stripes on there. And just the logo of Girl just looks dope. Just definitely a dope board. This is the one that I used to ride all through my city back when I was, you know, a stupid teenager, just skateboarding and stuff. So, yeah, I absolutely love this one. And this one stays on my wall, never getting rid of this. And every time people come over and they see this board, they're just like, oh my God, you have a Girl board? I'm like, yeah, pretty sick, pretty sick. I love this one. And last but not least, we have my last board. Don't even know which brand this one is. Like I said, I'm a casual skater. I'm like a cruiser. I don't be doing all them tricks. I'm not trying to hurt myself. You know, I'm garbage. But you know, skateboard with your friends. You get what I mean? It's a fun time. So that's what I do. Skate downtown and just have fun. Go cruising. Nice beautiful weather. Get in nature. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, this one is my current board that I use right now. Like if I want to go skate or something. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Got some big titty girls in the back, breast out. Yeah, you know, looking nice. I like the turquoise color and everything. Got the cruiser wheels on there. You feel me? But yeah, got the little Space Jam looking logo on the front. That was definitely dope. But yeah, those are my skateboards. This was just my like, you know, discussion on Tony Hawk. You know, I'll definitely make some more videos in the future on some Tony Hawk. So another thing, before I end this video, my capture card actually, the one that's able to record like older system with AV cables, it like went out for some reason. And that's the reason I bought it, is because it can record retro consoles like PS2 and stuff. But since it went out, I was like, how am I gonna record footage of those games? But I forgot. You know how you buy stuff and you just forget about it, but I have this like AV to HDMI converter, so I can plug the PS2 AV cords into this, and then I can plug the HDMI into this. So I'm gonna see if I could get this working for the capture card, and I can be able to record some old Tony Hawk footage. So on this video, it might just be the newer footage, like the Pro Skater 1+2 on the PS4, because that's probably all I can record right now. But in the future, you know, I'm gonna get that going so I can get some retro content going and everything like that. I ain't trying to take too much of your guys' time, you feel me? But let me know, what is your favorite Tony Hawk's game in the comments down below. Do you skate with your friends? What's your favorite skate brand, bro? Anything skating related, just leave it down in the comments. And until next time, always remember to stay gaming.